AI is not a threat to your practice, but unintentional AI might be. My name is Dr. Meghan Walker. I am the chief cheerleader here at Clinician Business Labs, and we are going to talk about today how AI is going to have a direct impact on your practice. Now, if you are already one of these people who is just piecing out on this conversation, who wants to put their head in the sand, I actually don't blame you. The AI conversation as it pertains to healthcare and frankly humanity is not always one that is most positive. But here's the deal. I actually believe that AI can transform how we deliver care. I believe that AI can open up the margins of a business model that is traditionally extremely challenging to deploy. And at this point, I have confidence that the regulations that are in place to protect health consumers from AI are actually going to create a bit of a bubble inside of healthcare in terms of the existential threat. So now that we kind of laid the foundation, let's actually get into how AI can help you be a more effective clinician. Let's start to talk about how AI can unlock your time, how AI can support your thinking. See, the fear isn't AI. It's losing the human thread. And here's the truth, is AI is already in your practice, whether or not you've chosen it or not. The question isn't whether AI belongs in healthcare. The question is whether it's being integrated with intention. And so in this video, I want to cover 5 core concepts that we can use to start to think about how AI can actually augment your capacity for impact. Concept number 1, AI is already practicing medicine. The challenge is it's just not doing it transparently. So here's the big idea. Avoiding AI isn't a strategy. Well, actually, it is a strategy. It's just not a very good one. See, AI already touches your scheduling, it touches your charting, but the risk is not its use. It's the unconscious use. When AI is unmanaged, it erodes trust, it impairs consistency, and it draws a line with respect to ethics. And if you feel that, I want you to be assured, I feel that piece as well. It's one of the reasons inside our own business, it was with a great deal of intentionality that we started to create an AI policy. Where is the line for us? How do we want to leverage it? How are we going to be able to manage privacy concerns? So conscious practices design how AI supports, not replaces care. If you don't decide how AI shows up in your practice, it's going to decide for you. So it's really important for us that we approach these pieces with intention. And one of the things I'm going to tell you at the end, but I'm going to tell you right now too, is that we've got an incredible training coming up later in January. And if we're way past January 2026, you can access a recording below. And during this Biz Lab, we are going to talk about not just the leveraging of AI to engage in clinical excellence, but we're going to talk about how to prompt AI effectively to save time. We're going to teach you and take you through how to create an effective AI policy inside your clinic so that it becomes an intentional tool to help support you, not detract from the work that you're doing. Concept or idea number 2, human-centered AI starts with boundaries, not tools. See, here's the big idea, is most ethical practices start with guardrails, not gadgets. And I'm an early adopter, so listen, if something is big and shiny, I'm desperate to jump on board. But one of the things I've had to learn as a leader is especially when a big shiny object has consequences to it, I need to step back and actually approach it from a layer of intentionality. So most people start with tools. Intelligent practices, they start with principles. So what should AI never do? Where must human judgment remain? This is where an AI integration policy becomes a leadership move, not a compliance chore. See, human-centered care doesn't reject AI. It tells it where it is allowed to go. Idea and concept number 3, AI should reduce cognitive load. I'm going to say this one more time. AI should reduce cognitive load, not the strategic thinking that makes you an incredible clinician, but the dumb, repetitive thinking, like how should I format this form that I'm about to send out to my patient? It should replace the 2 or 3 hours you spend in Canva creating templates so that you're sending your patients really pretty protocols. So AI should reduce your cognitive load, but not replace your clinical thinking. Here's the big idea on this. AI exists us to give clinicians their brains and energy back. When AI is replacing your clinical experience, that should be a red line. AI's highest value is removing invisible layer. Documentation, follow-up, systems thinking, pattern recognition, these are places where it excels. And this is where, for you as the leader of your business, you are sending off energy and you are depleting your load unnecessarily. So the win here isn't speed, it's presence. It gives you more to give to other people. Better clinicians don't work harder, they work with clearer mental space. The goal isn't to automate care. It's to protect the clinician delivering it. Idea and concept number 4, as it pertains to AI in your practice, is this: ethics, trust, and consent are the new clinical skills. Here's the big idea, is that trust is the currency of modern care. We see this online as there's just loads and loads of AI junk in your LinkedIn profile and your Instagram with posts that are just so perfectly curated that it is obvious no human has even touched it. And even worse is when you start to see in the comments that half the comments are AI generated. Trust is the most critical currency you have within your practice. And the one thing I know about the clinicians that we work with is that connecting with people compassionately and establishing trust is easy for them because they operate with such an extreme state of integrity. This is your moment. This is your moment to stand out amongst the noise of AI. Trust is the currency of modern care, and AI can either earn it or destroy it. Again, the intentionality being so critical here. Patients don't need technical explanations. They need reassurance. Transparency is what builds safety. Clear communication around AI use in your practice and to your patients doesn't weaken your relationship, it strengthens it. This is the leadership of the intelligent practice era. Trust isn't lost through technology. It's lost through silence. It's lost through a lack of intentionality. But I also want to share one other piece that's happening in the era of AI technology and in the era of fast delivery of service. Recently, I was in one of our, professional chat groups, and you could hear in this chat the exhaustion of this particular practitioner. You could hear in her sharing of her situation that she was really tired. And where she was seeking advice was where she should draw a line or boundary with her client. And long story short, the client had reached out to her 8 or 9 months after working with her and asked for a copy of her protocol from the last time we were together. And the patient explained that they didn't have the money to come back in. They wanted to renew the vitamins that the prescription that they had been on previously. And this practitioner's question to the group was, 1, should I do that? 2, I really want her to have to come in. 3, it's just so much work for me to be able to do this. And I've gone back and forth with the patient numerous times, and they're digging in about not coming back. And I'm digging in around the fact that I just don't want to send her this piece. And through the conversation that happened in this chat, it emerged that the reason it's just so much work to send it to her is because this clinician is still using paper charts. So to send her protocol, she's like, I have to go in and I have to open the chart and I have to scan it and then I have to turn it into a PDF and then I have to attach it to an email, but I'm not allowed to send it through an email, but I don't have an EMR. And there's all of these steps. See, what happened in that process is it created a ton of fatigue for the practitioner. And it created a terrible experience for her client. One of the things that will happen in this era, one of the expectations that a health consumer or someone paying for their care will have, is that you will be able to leverage the technology of the day to create a sound experience. Where trust was eroded in this situation was with a health consumer looking at that practitioner questioning why they don't have the systems to be able to make this seamless. See, AI will shift expectations of people who are coming into your business. And the opportunity here to build trust is to, again, not leverage AI to replace you in a clinical context, but to leverage AI to create an experience that is congruent with the caliber of your education and the quality of your credentials. You are sitting at a precipice in your practice where you don't have an excuse to not provide an incredible user experience to the people who are looking to you for advice. And failing to provide that experience at this particular junction in time will erode trust and have an impact on your business. This is why we can't approach this technology by sticking our head in the sand. We have to truly understand how it's integrating with the average person's life and what it's doing in terms of shifting their experiences. That is the opportunity for us, because as we bring these pieces in, the other thing that will happen simultaneously is we'll increase the quality of experience that we are able to deploy. It will save us time. These are things that previously cost us a lot of money, cost us a lot of time, and required a deep state of understanding. And now it can literally happen with the push of a button. Concept number 5, the practices that win will be the ones that choose intention early. I'm going to say this one more time because I know as an industry, we tend to be allergic to technology. We tend not to be the earliest adopters of new tech. And I'm not asking you to bring in all of the tech into your practice. What I am asking you to do, and what I will repeat, is the practices that win will be the ones that choose intention early on, that lean in with curiosity. Kind of like the internet, AI isn't going anywhere. This is a strategic moment. It's not a trend. AI is not a future event. It's a present operating system, and it is a present expectation from health consumers. Early intentionality creates leverage. It creates clarity, and it allows you to bring calm. And when you have intentionality, it means all of the details can change around you because you have a system and you have a way of thinking about how you want to bring that technology into your practice and into your business. Waiting does not preserve any level of purity. There's no room for righteousness in this conversation because ultimately that is going to leave you behind. That approach creates chaos. You don't need to be more technical. You need to, again, approach this entire piece from a place of intentionality. This is less about learning AI and more about leaning into and leading personally in a new era of care, that is and has been already unlocked. I am super excited, if you can't hear it in the tone of my voice, about what AI is going to be able to do for our practices, how it's going to open up our profitability inside our practice, how it's going to hand people back their time. I joke around with people inside our mastermind, the clinic mastermind, that I'm pretty sure one of the reasons I stepped out of clinical care was just the sheer pain and energy and load it took on a weekly basis to keep up with my charts. And now we have these incredible AI-driven scribes that can take notes right in the office with you and enable you to not miss a beat with your patients at all. If you are even remotely curious about how AI can be brought into your practice with a level of intentionality, I want to invite you to an event that we are running in January. It's our January AI Biz Lab, and it's not about tools or hacks. It's about designing your version of ethical, human-centered AI. When you join us inside that Biz Lab, we're going to give you a clear sense of AI integration and philosophy. We're going to give you first pass on the creation of an AI policy for your practice. We're going to talk about guardrails your teams can trust. We're going to create confidence instead of overwhelm. If you want AI to support your practice without costing you your values, this is the room you want to be in. How do we leverage it to give you back your time? How do we leverage it to give you more room and more income? And how do we do it in a way that is congruent and consistent with the values that are so important to our community and to our clients? All of the information to register below is found below. And if you missed us, if you're grabbing this in some era other than January 2026, we've linked you up with resources below that will enable you to incorporate these pieces into your practice seamlessly.